Well, we've learned a lot today, all about the different security problems, viruses, spyware, all sorts of things and dangers on the internet, and ways that we can protect you and your computer. We have some questions from our viewers. Let's see what they have to say. Here's an interesting question. Are Mac computers really immune to viruses more than Windows computers? Well, that's a good question. Many people think that Mac or Apple computers are more expensive because they are immune to viruses. Or shall we say, they think that that's a bonus and worth the extra money. Well, part of the reason why there are many more viruses and spyware and other types of malware for Windows computers is simply in the market share. Only about 10% of all personal computers are made by Apple. Might seem like a lot, but 90% are running Windows software. Now, if you try to get into the mind of someone who is creating malware or viruses or other harmful things for your computer, they certainly want to reach the majority of users, not just that little 10%. They're creating this software either for financial gain or perhaps just so that they can, show off to their friends that they were able to bring down a whole city or something. And just attacking those 10% of users is not quite going to do it. Another reason why Mac computers seem to have much better security actually has to do with the web browser that's installed. Now, the web browser is the program that you use in order to get onto the internet. Now, most of you probably use a program called Internet Explorer. There's a big blue E on your screen, and that's what you click on. But there are actually 4 popular programs today that are web browsers. Internet Explorer is one. Firefox is another very popular program. Safari and Chrome. Now, quite honestly, of the 4, Internet Explorer is well known for having the most security breaches. Well, if they have the most security breaches, why do they also have the most people using them? Well, since it's made from the same company that makes Windows, every computer that's sold that is a Windows computer, remember that 90%, comes pre-installed with Internet Explorer. So certainly that's the easier choice. Someone gets home from the store, they open the box, they click on the big blue E so they can surf on the web. Now, you can download a free copy of those other 3 browsers I mentioned, Firefox, Safari, or Chrome. They're all free and they're all available for you to download. Of course, you'll probably have to launch Internet Explorer first to get on the internet, download one of those other browsers, and from then on, use that browser instead. You'll probably find a much more secure setting for web browsing and shopping like that. Here's another question. I've heard that when I'm doing something involving credit cards or account numbers, that my data should be encrypted and that I should make sure that the website is secure. How do I know? That's a great question. And there is a very simple way to make sure that your website is secure. If you look here, here's a web address for Wells Fargo. And there's 2 things I want you to notice. First of all, there's a little locked padlock there. All secure sites, which would include all of your banking sites and also your shopping sites, perhaps not where you're looking at all the merchandise, but certainly the part of the site where you're typing in your credit card information, should always have that little padlock. Another giveaway for the security is that here it says HTTPS before the www. On regular websites, it just says HTTP. The HTTPS stands for secure. So if you're going to be doing any banking or credit card information, you want to make sure that it says HTTPS and has a little padlock. Encrypted means that the information that you type in is actually going to be garbled up into some coding before it gets sent to the bank, so that if somebody intercepted that signal halfway through, they wouldn't be able to read that credit card number. If you simply put a credit card number into an email or something, that's incredibly insecure. That email could be intercepted en route, and then somebody would be able to read it. So that's how we see about a secure site. Here's another question. How do I know if my computer gets a virus? What should I do right away if that should happen? You may know right away that there's something wrong, or it may be something that builds over time. Perhaps suddenly you're getting lots of pop-ups on your computer. You might even freeze or suddenly shut down. Or it may be that over time you notice things getting slower and slower, and things are just not happening the way you expect them to. The best thing to do is to go to whatever antivirus and or anti-malware software you've installed. We talked about things like Malwarebytes, AVG Suite, Windows Security Essentials, things like that. Click on those and then run a scan. Once you run a scan, they'll tell you, it takes sometimes a couple of hours to run a scan of your system, and they'll tell you how many infected files you had in your computer. And they'll take those files and they'll quarantine them and get rid of them. So when you're noticing things happening to your computer, slowdowns, etc., then you want to run a scan immediately. What types of websites are the most notorious for malware and viruses? Good question. The websites you most want to be careful of are sites that have music downloads for free as opposed to paid music downloads, sites that have lyrics or images that you can just copy and paste, free video games. Things that are for free generally have a catch. You know that programmers aren't sitting there making all these free things just for your enjoyment. Somehow they're making money off of it. Well, that's all for today. I hope you learned a lot about web security. And if you have any questions, please visit our website at www.technicallyspeakingtv.com for links to all this great software to keep you safe on the internet.